So we're here to solve this Yajilin by David Altizio called Only One, with only ones as clues, which is pretty obvious in the grid. There are some easy places like this first one that points straight at a cell, but then even those chain into other groups. For instance, now this one down has all of its singletons placed, which means we leave just behind one cell for this. As we actually put in this corner loop, we leave one cell for this clue. This has to come through this channel, which means these cells come like this. That's going to leave just one option here. So as these keep moving along, we're slowly getting more and more limitations. This one left clue couldn't take this cell because we'd form an empty channel, so we'll have to take this cell. So we come through here, come across. That means this is now an empty cell for this one, and these are all going to be used. Seeing what else we can do, these loop ends have to avoid each other, so this comes up and over to corner around the black cells, but that now means this singleton is the last space for that one to go. We've got one of these two is going to be taken by a loop end, so we'll come back to that in a second. We also have these cells through this channel. We can't shade either this cell or this cell black because we'd form a single loop end. So it has to come through this longer group. That means the one down points at it. It means we even get a case where we're going to have one black cell here. And so now let's come back to these two cells and say that if I'd actually took this one, notice I'm making a three-way junction here. This cell would want to go to the left and go to the top, and that's not going to work out. And so it's a pretty common pattern, one off of an edge, to avoid a three-way junction. So we put this cell in. That means now these get used. In pushing that out, this loop and this loop end have to come together, so they come together like this. This is going to have to come over to the left, but notice if this extends like this, we'd be closing off a loop on its own. So this is going to have to come up instead. This comes over to form these loop ends. That means this square isn't used and all of these are open. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ends in this closed channel, so we need to get one of those out to get an even count. That puts these in. These loop ends are part of the same subloop, so they're going to keep dodging each other. As we get to this corner, there's only one clue we haven't used, which is this one up, which has to get put in. And just closing off the loop ends finishes the puzzle. So pretty good workout for a Tuesday, but this only one theme, really nice sort of flow through the grid. I think the key things we're looking through some of these choke point sites and seeing observations like avoiding a three-way junction or avoiding an even or odd number of ends in small sections of grid, basically getting odds to always have an even, were the key steps to get to the finish. So hope you learned something through this video. We'll see you again soon.